So it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2020 annual Metro Washington, D.C. Alumni Chapter Scholarships and Award Celebration, albeit virtual. My name is Brian Howard, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm a product of D.C. Public Schools. And I am a proud graduate of 2000. I'm dating myself, 20 years ago. 2000 graduate of Alabama State University, the Alabama State University. And as I mentioned earlier, I'll be serving as your Master of Ceremony. Today's celebration will include a tribute to alumnus Mr. Rufus Daniels, class of 1958, a founding member of the Metro Washington, D.C. Alumni Chapter, and our longest serving president, serving for a total of 25 years. Our tribute includes expressions of heartfelt memories, music from alumni, information on the establishment of a named scholarship, and a presentation to his widow, Ms. Daniels. We will also recognize recent ASU graduates and new international students entering ASU in the fall semester. And we will conclude the celebration by awarding scholarships to 5 continuing and 11 incoming students. Now that I've given you a roadmap of what we're doing today, we can get started. First, we will have the invocation by our chapter alumnus, Mr. Edwin Brown, class of 2016. And after that, we will have a musical selection titled Dancing in the Moonlight by School of Music alumnus Anthony Tony Walker, class of 1983. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, or help me welcome, alumnus Edwin Brown.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
So you can join me and bow your heads, close your eyes, please. Dear Lord, we come to you today with thanks and gratitude in our hearts. We thank you for waking us up this morning and getting us on our way. We thank you for the opportunities and blessings you have placed in our lives. And we especially thank you for the storms and hard times, Lord, for we know that true faith is faith tested, and winning is that much more valuable after a few losses. As we come today, we want to give thanks for the Alabama State University and the Metro Washington, D.C. Alumni Chapter. We thank you for allowing us this chance to fellowship with one another amidst all the chaos in the world. We pray that you surround your angels around these current and incoming students and protect them as they set out to do great things in your honor, Lord. We pray for Brother Rufus Daniels, who is gone in the physical, but remains in the spiritual, Lord. Guard and keep him and watch over his family. We pray for all the family, alumni, and donors who have been so supportive and have joined this morning, and those who could not. And we pray for all who have joined that we gain something of substance today and charge ourselves to go out and be of service to another. It is in your mighty and matchless heavenly name that we say, amen. Amen.
Greetings to all of you. I'm so excited to bring you greetings on behalf of Alabama State University, or as I like to say, the Alabama State University. I say that because ASU is one of the greatest institutions of higher learning in the country, and I am so proud to say that I am a graduate of this fine university. I want to congratulate those current ASU students who will receive scholarships during this event, and I want to say welcome and congratulations to those students who will be joining us as freshmen in the fall. I can tell you with no reservation that those of you who will be a part of Hornet Nation for the first time will find that you have made the right decision, and you have made a decision that will set you on a path for success in life. None of what you will experience this evening would be possible without the efforts of the Washington Metro chapter of the National Alumni Association. This dedicated group of ASU graduates continually and consistently show their love for their alma mater in tangible ways. Their donations have made a difference in the lives of hundreds of ASU students over the years. We are deeply grateful. I particularly want to thank Mr. Howard Watkins and Chapter President Shannon Cloman and the officers of the Washington Metro chapter for your hard work and dedication. We truly appreciate all that you do. So again, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the faculty, staff, and students of the Alabama State University, I'm excited to offer you these greetings and to encourage you to stay aware, stay safe, and stay Hornet strong. Go Hornets!
Greetings, my ASU 24. I am David Hammond Jr., a senior communications radio and television major from the great city of Columbus, Georgia, and I humbly serve as your 2020-2021 Student Government Association president. I would like to take this time to welcome the parents and students of my ASU 24, and also to humbly thank all of our alumni and supporters of the DMV area. As always, it's a great time to be a Hornet. Stay safe, and I can't wait to see your face in the fall.
Hello, Hornet Nation. I am Yasmin Whitehurst, and I currently serve as the 81st Miss Alabama State University. And on behalf of the Royal Court, I would like to give greetings and a very special welcome to the class of 2024, the parents, and the supporters. We are so grateful and so thankful for your love and contributions to our wonderful institution. I would also like to take this time to encourage all the young women in this class to participate in the running for our 2020-2021 Miss Freshman. It is such an honor to represent and serve on the university's Royal Court, so I would like for you all to take advantage of this opportunity. Please follow Alabama State Royalty on Instagram for all necessary updates. Thank you to the Metro Washington, D.C. Alumni Chapter of the ASU National Alumni Association for all that you do and for including me in this wonderful scholarship and award celebration. Congratulations to all of the recipients, and I would like to wish you the best of luck at the best HBCU in the land. Remember, it is a great time to be a Hornet. Opportunity is here, and I am so excited to meet you in the fall. See you soon.
Definitely a great time to be a Hornet. An opportunity is here. I want to say thank you to Dr. Ross, the SGA president, David Hammond, and Yasmin for giving us those great words and intros. Now, I told you there were two parts to this. So we have a celebration, first of all, as far as the awards being issued out to the students, but we also are doing a tribute to Mr. Rufus Daniels, one of our founding members. So now it gives me great pleasure to begin that tribute to alumnus, Mr. Rufus Daniels. And we're going to start with expressions and reflections from Miss Christine Spruill, class of 1963.
Reflection, Christine Spruill, class of 1963. I met Rufus many years ago, not sure what year, at a Metro ASU alumni chapter meeting. Of course, I joined. The chapter was exceedingly small at that time. We rotated the meetings to each other's homes. I remember hosting the meeting with Rufus and only 3 or 4 other alumni members. What I remember most about Rufus was his complete dedication to the cause and purpose of the chapter and Alabama State. He believed in the education of our children and that we should give back. He always made sure that I attended the chapter-sponsored activities to raise money for scholarships. If I did not submit my contribution for tickets in a timely manner for an ASU benefit, he would call to remind me prior to an email, and later, when email became the universal means of contact, he would email me to make sure that I planned to attend. To be honest, there were times if he had not persisted, I would not have participated. I am forever grateful for his consistent dedication and hard work over these many years. He was the heart of this ASU chapter. Early on and throughout the years, he gave fully of his time, talent, and resources to this chapter so that ultimately students would benefit. He supported this chapter into providing scholarships to students in this area to attend ASU, as well as financial support to our alma mater. Christine Sproul, class of 1963.
Thank you to Ms. Sproul. But next we'll have a video from Mr. Reginald Lawrence, and then that will be followed by Mr. Richard Jackson as part of the tribute to Mr. Rufus Daniels.
Hi, my name is Reggie Lawrence. I am a member, or was a member of the class of 1977 at Alabama State University. One of the first people that I met when I moved here in the Washington, D.C. metro area in 1978 was Mr. Rufus Daniels. I don't remember exactly how we hooked up or how we met and that kind of thing, but I became a member of the Washington Alumni chapter that very same year, and developed a real good relationship with Rufus Daniels. And I'm honored to be able to pay a tribute to Rufus and his great life. He was a great man. And there are three things I remember about Rufus, and there are three words to describe what those feelings are. He was persistent, dedicated, and loyal, and he was extremely vital to the alumni chapter here in the area, and maintained that for years. So I'd just like to say that I miss Rufus and miss having his steady hand with things, and I wish the family sympathy and pride in having Rufus as a member of your family and the leader. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Richard Jackson, a proud graduate of Alabama State University, class of 1982, School of Music. And I'd like to just take a moment to pay tribute to one of the major influences in my life, as well as the influence in me attending Alabama State, Mr. Rufus Daniels. I met Mr. Daniels in 1977 at a college recruitment event in which he simply said to me, what did he need to do to help change my life? And actually, that's what he did. He changed my life by providing the opportunity for me first to attend Alabama State, but then supporting me personally throughout my sojourn at the university and on into my professional life. We were kindred spirits around the art, around music. I'm a graduate of the School of Music and the Mighty Marching Hornet, and that was one of the commonalities we had. We often bantered back and forth regarding our fraternities, and I told him, though a Q sent me to school, I came back a Kappa, and so we had a great time. I just want to pay tribute to him and the kind of person that he was, in that he was always giving, he was always ensuring that others did well. And in fact, as a result of my interactions with him, we ended up founding a foundation that came directly from his inspiration to me. He said to me back in that day that as we've invested in you, there's an expectation that you invest in others. And so my wife and I and some friends have started a foundation called the Pay It Forward Foundation, in which we support students going to historically Black colleges and universities. And that's a direct result of the inspiration given to me and a directive given to me by Mr. Rufus Daniels.
I believe you made our friends very proud, Mr. Jackson and Mr. Lawrence, with those expressions. Next, we'll have expressions and reflections from Dr. Gregory McPherson, class of 1980, followed by a rendition of Glory by the Wiley College Choir, directed by Gregory McPherson.
Dear Brother Rufus, Greg McPherson here. It is, indeed, an absolute privilege to share in this very momentous celebration of time, as a reflection of those among us of whom God has certainly made to be great and extraordinary. This is the plethora of very fine tributes shared on reflection and gratitude for you, certainly, as one of the very chosen of God for both a time and indeed multiple seasons. Humbly, the breadth and dynamic of the life that you have shared with many is yet but an understatement of the unconditional love that is born of you as one of God's servant witnesses, and the truth that is found in your commitment to seeds that you cultivate generationally across millennia and space. In closing, I, along with the numerous of whom are gathered, share this tribute as a somber extension of the very many days that we all trod at our beloved Alabama State University, and the true gift of love found in the discipline of music, knowing that these same gifts are but a mere reflection of the truth found in God's heart. So is this tribute from the a cappella choir of Wiley College, of which I give service as its conductor and music director. The piece, aptly titled Precious Lord, arranged by our very dear brother, Dr. Roland Carter. In all things, we give thanks to God above, of whom gives purpose and strength to all that is and all that is to come. Salah. Kindest regards, Dr. Gregory A. McPherson.
Take my hand, my precious
Thank you to the Wiley Choir and also Dr. McPherson. We truly enjoyed your rendition. Since losing our beloved alumni, Mr. Rufus Daniels, we've decided to honor his memory. The Rufus Daniels Memorial Scholarship was established by mentees of the late, great Mr. Rufus Daniels and his nephew. This scholarship will not only serve as a reminder of his great contributions, but will also continue the great legacy of Mr. Daniels by providing opportunities for deserving students from the DMV area. Can we take a moment to give an applause for that for Mr. Daniels? Thank you. Lastly, and certainly not least, our chapter president, Mr. Shannon Cloman, will recognize Mr. Daniels.
Thank you, Brian. I know with everything that everyone has said about Mr. Daniels, you really have to understand that he continued only after many years of serving as president to support all of the chapter presidents that came behind him. He would always lend a listening ear, as well as provide an opportunity for individuals to look at new programs and look at them in different ways, and always giving guidance behind the scenes. Want to make sure that we continue to support Mrs. Daniels. We're going to provide her with a presentation, and that presentation would include a bouquet of flowers, and we were giving her a plaque, and on that plaque that we'll read the epitaph, a litany, and I'll read through that, and this is what it reads, and we will be presenting it to her at a later date. The official statement of condolence and tributes by the Metro Washington, D.C. Alumni Chapter, Alabama State University, National Alumni Association. Shannon Cloman, President. In the cherished memory of Rufus Daniels, an Alabama State University class of 1958 alumnus. He has worked in a fertile earth and planted a garden, so he knows what faith is. He has listened to the birds caroling in the morning and at dusk, so he knows what music is. He has seen the morning without clouds after showers, so he knows what beauty is. He has sat before a wood fire with old friends, so he knows what companionship is. He has walked the path of quietness along the forest floor, so he knows what peace is. He has dealt in the valley of remembrance in the halls of home, so he knows what love is. He has seen the miracle of spring, the fruition of summer, and the beauty of autumn, followed by the repose of winter. So he knows what life is, and because he has perceived all things through the grace of Jesus Christ, he knows who God is. Grant his rest eternal, may light perpetual shine upon him. Thank you.
Thank you, President Cloman and other alumni, for sharing your memories. Mr. Daniels' impact and contributions to our alumni chapter will truly be missed.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Lawrence Daniels, son of Rufus Daniels. I'd like to, on behalf of my mother, Blanche Daniels, who's unable to be here today, she had a previous engagement, but also on behalf of my wife, Gilda Daniels, who is, by the way, a proud Grambling State University alumni, and my two children. We thank you for this honor. Earlier when Mr. Watkins gave me a call and told me about this event, I was truly humbled, and he asked me to think about some reflections of Dad in Alabama State, and there are two that come to mind for me. One was his dedication to Alabama State and for those who came behind him. Growing up, I've lost count of how many students from Alabama State stayed at our home for a day or a couple days or weeks as they were coming up to the metro area for either an interview or internship for the summer or transitioning here for a permanent job. Dad loved to serve as the bridge, as the host, to get them planted here and to get them on their way, as they were, many of them residents of Alabama and had to make a transition here to Maryland. And that dedication really was a great lesson to me. The second one was when he took me down to Alabama State for one of his reunions. I think it was his 20th, so I was maybe about 12, 13 years old. And I remember those, the 2 days, the Friday and the Saturday, just the bond and the friendship that he had with so many people on the campus, both administrators and former, fellow students of his. And it really showed me just how deep their friendships were. And these were decades-long friendships that started at Alabama State. And really, in some instances, became generational because in my time at Howard University, I met a few people who were children of Alabama State graduates who were at Howard through Dad. So it was a lasting friendship. And that is something that I am honored to have known, and I'm glad to have had the same experience at Howard to know that bond and friendship with people. And I'm truly humbled by what you have done today. This definitely gives life and strength to his legacy, which he would absolutely be proud of. And my family is as well. And again, I thank you.
Dr. James McNeil. Dr. James McNeil is an internationally recognized businessman known for building a multi-million-dollar information technology and intelligence firm, McNeil Technologies Incorporated. His firm provided time-sensitive services to the public and private sectors, with offices in 24 states and 12 foreign countries, with more than 3,000 employees and generating over $330 million in annual revenue. His companies were recognized by Inc. magazine as one of the most successful and fastest-growing businesses in the United States. In 2010, ACOM Technology Corp. Acquired McNeil Technologies Incorporated for $335 million. He received numerous accolades, including being a finalist for the 2002 Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award. Currently, Dr. McNeil is president and CEO of the McNeil Family Foundation, a charitable organization founded in 2004. His foundation is included in the list of top 20 philanthropists of color inside Philanthropy magazine, alongside the likes of Oprah Winfrey, Robert Smith, Tyler Perry, Michael Jordan, Morgan Freeman, Beyonce, LeBron James, and Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. International businessman, education advocate, and trailblazer, Dr. McNeil and his college sweetheart and wife for more than 40 years are longtime supporters of their alma mater, Alabama State University, as well as other educational institutions, charities, and faith-based organizations. Some of their contributions to ASU include facility renovations, paying off students' debts to increase graduation rates, awarding scholarships from their endowed trust scholarship at ASU, and funding local student scholarships through the Metro Washington, D.C. Alumni Chapter. Dr. McNeil and his wife, Juliette McNeil, class of 75, received bachelor's and doctorate degrees from ASU and are life members of the National Alumni Association. He was appointed to the ASU Board of Trustees by the Governor of Alabama and served faithfully. The McNeils were also ASU's first Spirit of Telebody Award recipients, which is one of the highest awards bestowed upon an ASU alumnus. His philosophy extends throughout the community and beyond. He is actively involved in the historic Alfred Street Baptist Church, Alexandria, Virginia, where he has served in many capacities, including chairman of the Board of Trustees, and where him and his family has an endowed scholarship for underprivileged students to attend college. He was selected as a top 20 philanthropist of color by Inside Philanthropy, a news website about large philanthropic foundations and wealthy donors, for his commitment to giving back to the community, HBCUs, and faith organizations. He's identified as one of Inova, Mount Vernon Hospital, Alexandria, Virginia, top donors. He is a former chairman of the Board of Trustees, Hopkins House, and Early Childhood Learning Academy, Arlington, Virginia, which is named in honor of the McNeils. His foundation donated $1 million to the Smithsonian African American Museum located in Washington, D.C. The McNeils have been married for 40 years and have one daughter, Ashley. She and her husband, Damian Cloman, have two sons, Sebastian, 5 years old, and Xavier, 2 years old. The two grandchildren are him and Juliet, Proud and Joy.
Thank you, Howard, for that kind introduction. Howard is a true warrior that's on the battlefield every day for Alabama State University. I cannot say enough about the hard work that Howard devotes to recruiting students for our beloved ASU. I also want to thank the Metro DC Alumni Chapter, its leadership and members for extending to me the privilege to address you during this virtual scholarship luncheon. There are so many other persons that was involved in coordinating this program, so I also thank you for your contributions and efforts as well. Next, I want to thank the parents for all that they have done and will continue to do to get their child through this process. And I do mean this process because that's what it is. It's a process. The good news for the parents is that you're not alone. You have an army of administrators, professors, counselors, and staffers all committed to your child's success. When the students at the university are successful, then the university is successful. Now, congratulations to all of the scholarship award recipients. A new chapter in your life is about to begin. Not only have you graduated from high school during a worldwide pandemic and a social justice uprising that's long overdue, but you are an eyewitness to history in the making. Even though there was no senior prom, cookout, or all-night party, you still prevailed, and you have done it with style and grace. And now that you have graduated, you're about to enter adulthood as one of the most educated and prepared graduating classes in the history of our nation. You're ready for this, whatever this is, or whatever it turns out to be, mainly because we still do not know how this pandemic will affect us in the future. But we can prepare ourselves to meet whatever challenges the future holds. That's what college is all about. College is a training ground to prepare young minds for the unforeseeable future. Because of who you are and whose you are, you now have a great opportunity to be a participant in the changing course of history of our nation. You can participate by registering to vote and voting in all local, state, and national elections. Your one vote can change an election. Your parents have been preparing you for the last 18 years on how to make good decisions, and your teachers have been preparing you on how to succeed academically. Now it's totally up to you. Your success or failure is in your hands. No one will make you study. No one will make you turn in your homework assignments. It's all in your hands. Once upon a time, I was in the same situation as you. I was thrilled to leave home and be on my own. I was also afraid that I might not live up to the expectations of my family and friends. What I did not know was that Alabama State was the right school for me at the right time. ASU provided me with what I needed. I needed more academic help than most students. ASU provided me with tutors that was there to assist me. I needed more financial assistance than most students. ASU opened the doors to grants, loans, and work study programs that I did not know was available. I needed family. ASU became my extended family. My participation with the band and on the tennis team and in study groups introduced me to students from across the country and internationally, from countries that I did not even know existed. Several of those students became lifelong friends, and we still keep in touch today. And one of those friends I married and have been married to for the last 44 years. ASU will do the same for you as they did for me. ASU taught me to think outside of the box, to be open to new ideas, to think of others and not just myself, to be socially active and a contributing member of society. So the question is, where do you go from here? What will be your field of study? What groups will you become active with? Some of you know what you're going to study and have known since you were 5 years old. Others are not so sure. But that's okay. There are plenty of personality tests that can give you and guide you to the right decision. Each of you have at your fingertips one of the most powerful devices known to man, a smartphone. A device that can give you answers to questions that you never thought about asking. Owning that smartphone also makes you among some of the most privileged people in the world. As you leave and head off to Alabama State, remember that higher education is a privilege that everyone does not get to experience. You should know that by participating in this experience, you're embarking upon one of the greatest journeys of your life. You will have to make decisions that could potentially affect you for the rest of your life. Now let me give you a piece of advice that has served me well. When selecting a major, select a field of study that you enjoy, something that you never tire of. For some of you, it might be crunching numbers, and for others, it could be research, and for others, it could be a teacher in a classroom. The possibilities are unlimited. If you're undecided, talk to your parents and college counselors or another adult that knows you well. He or she could point you in the right direction. When I was in college, my girlfriend, my wife for 44 years now, wanted to major in economics. But her college counselor suggested she major in accounting and minor in economics because the job market was stronger in accounting than in economics at the time. And that was some of the best advice that my wife ever received. She then went on to a full career working in accounting until retirement. Don't let this opportunity to learn and grow pass you by. College is not just about collective knowledge that you find in a library, although when I was in college, the library was a bar just off campus. But learning is about experiencing life in a full and measured way. I'm not saying to go down to Alabama State and go wild, but I am saying to enjoy the journey. Your parents are still expecting you to graduate on time. Dr. Ross, the president of ASU, and his entire staff has been working extremely hard to prepare you for your arrival on campus. They know what you will require to become a successful student. They know because they have taught and graduated thousands of students just like you. My prayer for you is that Alabama State will do as much or more for you than it did for me. Thank you, and may God bless you and your journey at Alabama State. Go Hornets.
So now we'll move forward, and it's time right now that we hear from the man doing the behind the scenes work for our beloved alma mater. He has consistently focused on the vision of having a robust program for recruiting new students, supporting continuing students, and encouraging alumni. If I had to describe him, I would call him Mr. ASU and the man that never sleeps. Please join me in welcoming the founder and director of the Metro Washington, D.C. Alumni Chapters, Pre-College Enrichment, Pre-College Scholarship Program, and chairman of the Scholarships and Award Committee, Mr. Howard Watkins.
Good afternoon. First, I would like to thank you again for joining us today. Although Brian gave me credit for doing the work behind the scene, I could not have been done this all alone. There are some alumni that I would like to recognize who have been instrumental in making the pre-college program come to fruition and also today's event. The first person is Edwin Brown, alumni of class of 16, Shannon Cloven, our chapel president, Cameron Cloven, who is our treasurer and the wife of President Cloven, Cassandra Duncan, of course, Brian Howard, who is our master of ceremony today, Malcolm Mallory, who actually was the individual who was responsible for coordinating and pulling the pre-college enrichment program together. Keith William, who has been with the program from its inception. This is our 7th year. And so, and the last person is alumni Darren DeBose. Darren is alumni that came here just like Rufus, need a place to stay, so I let him stay 2 years while he was doing his intern here at DC. So he is in Houston. And last but not least is Brandon McHale. Brandon McHale has been spending countless hours here making sure that we pull technology together and that everything in terms of logistics works in sync today. So I want to thank you guys so much. You mentioned, I want to also thank our Dr. Mike Niels for accepting our invitation to be our keynote speaker. One of the things about, that was mentioned that Mike Neal is a great worker and a big supporter of the university. I know him firsthand. So him and I both served on board of trustees at Alabama State University. And I'm very close friend with the Mike Neals family. But we thank him and for his dedication to Alabama State. We can't pay him, and for what he does to support the scholarships and whatnot, we cannot pay him. But we do have a small token of appreciation that we would like to give on behalf of the Metro DC Alumni Chapter. We have a fine piece of crystal here. It has the Alabama State University logo on it, and it reads, presented to Dr. James McNeil, keynote speaker, Metro Washington, D.C. Alumni Chapter, Alabama State University Scholarships and Awards Celebration, July 25th, 2020. Again, thank you, Dr. McNeil, for your continued support of the Metro D.C. Alumni Chapter.
We will have the video from Mr. Tony Walker. Thank you to Mr. Tony Walker for that video and that musical selection. Now we'll move over to Howard Watkins next to do the scholarship introductions.
Before we move and talk about scholarships, I would like to recognize some recent graduates from Alabama State University. I'm proud and happy because they are alumnus of the Pre-College Enrichment Program. So we have 5 students who graduated in May. The first person is Jordan Brown, who received a Bachelor of Science degree from chemistry. Jordan will be attending the University of Kentucky she received a full scholarship to get a master's in the forensic science field. The next person is Alexander Irby. Alex graduated. He's a Duke Ellington graduate. He went to ASU, graduated in music and piano, and he has a full scholarship to the Dana School to get a master's degree. Philip Marlon Well. Philip received a Bachelor of Science degree in accounting, and he's back here at home here in DC area working as an accountant for the United States government. The final person the next person is Destin Whittington. Destin graduated from the Richard Wright Public Charter School in DC, and she received a Bachelor of Science degree in communications. And she's co-hosting a program, and she also works as an advisor at the school with the principal. The last person is Bree Williams. Bree Williams, who received a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science. She was awarded voted to be as the 2020 Student of the Year for Alabama State University. She participated in our pre-college program, and she offered opportunity to be a mentor in helping students to prepare our application for scholarships. She received numbers of scholarships, including the McDonald Scholarship. Bree is currently preparing for law school. Before we move on to talk about scholarship, I would like to introduce one of a proponent of scholarships and who has been the backbone financially to support especially the Friends of Howard Watkins and the Metro DC alumni in providing funds for students from the DC area to go to Alabama State. Mr. French, Mr. Charles H. French. Mr. French, I'm going to say a few things. He loves to talk, so he can give you more information. But anyway, he's a former Metropolitan Police from the DC Metropolitan Police. He worked as a investigative officer for the federal government. He's retired, and he is a part of the ASU family, and he is like I said earlier, a big supporter of providing funds and making sure that our students get scholarship to go to ASU. And one of his things he said to me that we want to make sure that the students stay in school. So will you welcome Mr. French as he come forward and say whatever he would like to say.
Good afternoon, each of you. I had an opportunity to speak to you a couple of weeks ago, and I would just like to say the journey has begun. You have done all that was necessary to meet the requirements to finish school. Your responsibility now is of yourself first. Your next responsibility is to make sure that you do all the things that you can do to improve the quality of your life, as well as the quality of life of those that you will be helping in the future. I am a strong believer that there are people like me who God has put in your way to help you understand how important life will be as long as you meet the requirements of finishing college. You're going to have a lot of obstacles and a lot of opportunities to make good decisions, and there'll be a lot of times where there'll be bad decisions, and hopefully that you will be just not be discouraged and let anyone convince you not to do it well. Before I closed out last time, I said I gave you all 4 sentences. You heard me, but the question is, were you listening? You heard me, but were you listening? The first one I gave you was, I will, I shall, I can, I must, aspire, not expire, but aspire. I want you from now on, every night before you go to bed, and all through your 4 years of college, to look in the mirror at the beautiful faces that each of you all have. And you say those 4 sentences. I will, I shall, I can, I must, aspire. You have been put here on earth to contribute. These are trying times now. This country is one of the worst times it's going through. And you must be a part of it to improve the quality of life of those of our race, the African American race. The world is going to watch you, and you're going to watch yourself by doing all the good things that you can possibly do. Hopefully, before each of you leave, if you have not registered to vote, register so that you can participate as an adult in the upcoming election on October the 3rd. And in closing, all I want to say is, you never know how God is going to put something in your way. He put Mr. Howard in your way. He put these young men in here helping you to able to understand that we love you, we respect you, but you must love yourself first. I want you to be mindful of the fact that the world is waiting for your greatness. There's a place in this world for you. John Lewis just passed, and he gave me back in 1993 a picture of him when he got beaten by the police officers back in 1962, I think it was, that he was beaten to the ground. And I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And in closing, you gotta meet people who are gonna help you do the good thing. That's your politicians, people who make things happen. The world is waiting for your greatness. Don't disappoint yourself, don't disappoint your family, and whatever you do, don't disappoint those that you're in love with. I wish you well. I will, I shall, I can, I must aspire. Thank you, Mr. Howard.
You're quite welcome. Thank you, Mr. French. Thank you, Mr. French. We will now hear from one of our alumni who is a supporter and financially and also recruited, Ralph Barber.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rolf Barber. I'm a proud ASU alum, class of '87. I've been put into a wonderful position working in the Career Center at Montgomery College and teaching a career development course. And I've come in contact with many bright, successful international students. I think the international student is a wonderful component. ASU, as Howard always reminds me, has always had international students. But I had a conversation with Quentin Ross, Dr. Ross, and we talked about the importance of diversity for our students and for the incoming students. And I've been blessed to send 12 students down to ASU who have all managed to do very well. The first 6 have graduated. 3 have gone on to get master's degrees. 1 has a CPA. 1 is working in Levi Watkins doing IT work. And 1 just graduated in May. The first 6 were from West Africa and Jamaica. And the last 6, 5 of them are Ethiopian and 1 is from Nepal. So I sent 2 down last year. One young lady, Gabriella Tillahoon, did a summer internship this past summer with Uber, and that went very well. And the young man from Nepal did a summer internship with Geico. So both of them are flourishing at ASU in computer science. The 4 that I'm sending down this fall are Belshadeh Habtu, who's a pre-med major from Ethiopia, Azigza Hussein, who's very interesting. He is an aspiring film director. Last summer, he was the first and only student ever selected by Warner Brothers to do a summer internship there in LA. So he had a wonderful experience. He's hoping to work with Tyler Perry in the future. So we wish him the best with that. The next 2 are Hanan Musa, who is also a pre-med major, very strong academically, and Ephraim Tillahun. So I think that diversity is extremely important, whether it's at work or at our alma mater, because we can all learn from each other, whether it's students coming from various urban cities around the country or students coming from small town Alabama, small town Georgia, small town Florida. And I think the learning goes both ways, where we're able to learn from each other, and that can be quite beneficial. So I don't want to take up too much time. I just want to say that I'm extremely grateful that God put me in a position to impact some young people's lives. I was fortunate enough to go to Alabama State out of DC Public Schools, Woodrow Wilson, not Ballou like Brian Howard. And they gave me a full tennis scholarship, and I've always been eternally grateful for that. And so I just do my part to try to give back and give these deserving students a wonderful opportunity so that they can enjoy and excel and ascend as high as possible. So thank you very much for your time. And I just wanted to share the information with you about me doing my part to try to send deserving, bright, talented students to ASU that will go on to do well and will also add to our diversity at our wonderful university. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Our scholarship donors makes the connection with the students to show that they are really real people, and that there are people who are actually interested in investing into their life and their well-done. And so we are very fortunate here in the Metro Washington, D.C. Alumni chapter to have people like alumnus Barbara and Mr. French, who constantly give tireless to make sure that me as a chairperson that's responsible for coordinating and running the program for the alumni chapter for Alabama State University. I have the resources and that we need, and then also extending the hand to the university and help the university when the university is in need as a whole. We will move on to the important part to some of you guys. I know if I was in your shoes, like, yes, let's get to it. Let's get the money part. Let's get to scholarship. So anyway, we're fortunate to be able to award 16 student scholarships today, 5 current students and 11 incoming students. I'm going to ask Mr. Alumni Malcolm Mallory to come forward. He's going to explain the donors of the specific scholarships today. So again, we thank the donors for making this happen, and the one who personally made a commitment to give X number of scholarships to students.
Thank you, Mr. Watkins. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Malcolm Mallory, a 2015 graduate of Alabama State University. Our first scholarship is the Friends of Howard Watkins, Alabama State University, Sylvia and Charles H. French Scholarship. Mr. French is a Navy veteran, former DC Metropolitan Police officer, and federal investigator. His wife Sylvia worked for DC government, retired, and made her transition September 2016. As a longtime supporter of HBCUs and a way to memorialize Sylvia, Mr. French and his family partnered with Howard Watkins to support his effort of mentoring and providing support to DMV students attending Alabama State University. The relationship and investment in student education has been a blessing for many students. Mr. Howard Watkins and Alabama State University. Today we will give 6 scholarships. We want to thank you again, Mr. French, for your gracious donation and being an intricate part to our scholarship committee and helping the students succeed. So we're definitely blessed to have you, sir. Our next scholarship is the Bobby J. Player Sr. and Family Scholarship. Bobby Player Sr. is a 1962 graduate of Alabama State University. He was a member of the college band and Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. He is a retired library scientist of Howard University. The players will be donating a minimum of $5,000 for future scholarships. Our next scholarship is the Brian and Dr. Virginia H. Howard Scholarship. Dr. Virginia Howard is a retired professor from the University of District of Columbia. She is a longtime advocate of higher ed, member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. I'm sorry about that.
That's right. Get it right.
I got you. Brian is a proud 2000 graduate of the Alabama State University and is graciously serving as our MC of today's program. The Howards are making a $3,000 donation today. Brian, I don't know if you want to speak on your contributions. I know, and if your mom's online, have her say something as well.
Yeah, I just want to say on behalf of the Howard family, we want to make sure that these students have an opportunity to have funding to support them in their venture going to Alabama State University. So, and we want to support you. So please make us all proud. Finish what you start. And in 4 years, we'll see you back here on the other end of that podium. So thank you, Malcolm.
Thank you, Brian. Brian's been a great member, a big help for us this year. He's joined our committee, so he'll be helping us going forward. Just his ability to connect with other alumni and keep everyone engaged from his class and other generations that he went to school with is a big help. And we definitely appreciate him for helping for the pre-college workshop and joining the team this year. So thank you again, Brian.
Thank you.
Our last scholarship is the Rufus Daniels Memorial Scholarship. Rufus was a 1958 graduate of Alabama State College University, where he sung in the college choir and was a member of Omega Phi fraternity. A love for family, Alabama State University, music, and singing. Sponsor of the Rufus Daniels Memorial Scholarship are listed in the program booklet, and the first recipient of the scholarship is Jordan Artis of the Seed Public Charter School in Washington, D.C. Without further ado, we'll have the voiceovers queued for the scholarship recipients.
Kiara Collins. Kiara Collins is a rising junior at Alabama State University, where she aspires to obtain a degree in music performance and music education with a concentration of piano studies. With great discipline and dedication, she has achieved an cumulative GPA of 3.83 despite the many credit hours she faces. While being a music major at ASU, she is involved in their beloved university choir and other small music ensembles. Upon arrival to ASU, Kiara was a graduate of Duke Ellington School of the Arts, where she received a diploma from the District of Columbia Public Schools and an arts diploma for completing her years of piano studies. She was also rewarded a full scholarship to attend ASU, as well as additional scholarships that has aided her in her development as a musician and has provided the necessary funds to support educational needs and assistance to further her career goals. Kiara soon will be graduating a semester earlier than her class, where she wishes to continue her education and desires to achieve her master's in film studies, which is another passion she has for her career. Soon, Kiara wishes to utilize her education to further her career in both music studies and film studies. Kiara is a recipient of the Sylvia and Charles H. French Scholarship. Please join us in welcoming Kiara Collins. Shania Graham. Shania Graham is a graduate of Suitland High School Creative and Visual Performing Arts Program, where she held the position of SGA Secretary. Currently, Shania is a senior pursuing a degree in criminal justice at Alabama State University. Shania is a member of the university's marching band, where she plays the piccolo. She is also a member of the University Wind Ensemble, where she plays oboe and flute. She is also the vice president of the National Association of Blacks in Criminal Justice. During her spare time, Shania enjoys spending time with her family and friends and exploring new music. After obtaining her degree from Alabama State University, Shania plans to obtain her master's in criminology. Shania's favorite quote is by the late Maya Angelou that says, "My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style." Shania is a recipient of the Sylvia and Charles H. French Scholarship. Please join us in welcoming Shania Graham. Brittany Hume Dawson. Originally from Anaheim, California, Brittany Hume Dawson is currently a senior biology pre-health major, chemistry minor at Alabama State University. She continuously demonstrates her capacity for academic success and hard work. In 2017, Hume Dawson graduated from the Stratsville High School in Clinton, Maryland, as valedictorian of her class. She's earned a presidential scholarship to Alabama State University, where she maintains a high GPA and is heavily involved on campus. Hume Dawson has been a member of Collegiate 100, Fly Girls Program, and the Aspire Mentoring Program. Hume Dawson has worked as a Physics 1 tutor during her sophomore year before she started working in the ASU Forensic Science Javon Thetanos Lab. Hume Dawson has served as a college STEM senator in the Student Government Association during her junior year. She has also served as a Golden Ambassador for 2 years. Most recently, Hume Dawson was selected as a Cadet Wing Commander for the Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps Afro-TC program, of which she has been a member for 3 years. Notably, Hume Dawson earned a Distinguished Graduate while at field training, the basic training for Afro-TC. DG is an award which recognizes the top 10% of the encampment. Upon graduation and successful completion of Afro-TC, Hume Dawson will commission as a second lieutenant of the United States Air Force. Beyond graduation, Hume Dawson aspires to be a pediatrician in the Air Force. Brittany is a recipient of the Sylvia and Charles H. French Scholarship. Please join us in welcoming Brittany Hume Dawson. Janet Lagabona. Janet Lagabona is a senior at the Alabama State University, majoring in music performance with a minor in music technology. At the university, she served as a senator for the College of Visual and Performing Arts. In addition to her participation on campus, she is a proud member of National Society of Leadership and Success and Sigma Alpha Iota International Music Fraternity. She was named this year's Presser Scholar, which is the most prestigious award given by the Department of Music. The scholarship will go towards traveling expenses and other needs pertaining to graduate school. She aspires to dive into music administration as well as continuing to compose. Janet is a recipient of the Sylvia and Charles H. French Scholarship. Please join us in welcoming Janet Lagabona. Jordan Marshall. Jordan Marshall is a senior biomedical engineering major at Alabama State University. At the university, she is an active member of Beta Kappa Chi National Scientific Honor Society, the National Institute of Science, the Biomed Club, the Golden Ambassadors, and Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Jordan also spends a lot of time helping and tutoring elementary school students in the Montgomery area in reading and math. She is also a second-degree black belt and teaches self-defense classes for students during SGA's Campus Safety Week. Upon graduation, Jordan plans to pursue a PhD in biomedical engineering and work as a researcher for a corporation specializing in the production of medical devices. Jordan is a recipient of the Sylvia and Charles H. French Scholarship. Please join me in welcoming Jordan Marshall.
Jordan Artis. Jordan is a graduate of the Seed School in Washington, D.C., where she was the captain of the varsity cheerleading team, captain of the step team, and senior class secretary. She was also lead vocalist for the school and a member of the National High School Scholar Society and has been on the school's dean's list for 4 years. Jordan was highly active in the community and church. She was a member of the late D.C. Mayor Marion Barry's Youth Leadership Institute and volunteered as a cheerleading coach at Ann Beers Elementary School in Washington, D.C., where she taught step dance to the youth. At Union Temple Baptist Church, Jordan is a president of the Youth Usher Board and a member of the praise team and youth choir. Jordan is a recipient of the Rufus Daniels Memorial Scholarship. Please join us in welcoming Jordan Artis. Thaddeus Vashon James Davey. Thaddeus is a 2020 graduate of Stafford High School in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and an exceptional musician which earned him a music scholarship at Alabama State University. He chose ASU over Norfolk State University, where his brother currently plays in the marching band. He plans to major in music and play saxophone for the Mighty Marching Hornets. At Stafford High School, he was a member of the marching, jazz, and symphonic bands, wind ensemble, and Navy Junior ROTC. Thaddeus plans to major in music and psychology. Thaddeus is a recipient of the Mr. and Mrs. Bobby Player Scholarship. Please join us in welcoming Thaddeus Vashon James Davey. Elijah Mier Dorsey. Elijah is a 2020 graduate of Potomac High School in Oxon Hill, Maryland, with a cumulative grade point average of 3.0. Elijah was an honor student between the grades of 1 through 12 and an advancement via individual determination student since the 7th grade. At Potomac High School, she was a member of the varsity cheerleading team, senior class president, captain of dance company and peer forward, member of National Honor Society for Dance Arts, Rotary Club of Upper Marlboro, Little Sister Big Sister Organization, the Posse Foundation, a certified peer mentor, manager of the girls' basketball team, and a Ron Brown Scholarship recipient. Elijah is a recipient of the Mr. and Mrs. Bobby Player Scholarship. Please join us in welcoming Elijah Mier Dorsey. Joy Monet Eubanks. Joy is a 2020 graduate of Mervo High School in Baltimore, Maryland, where she graduated number 2 in her senior class with a cumulative GPA of 3.9286. She also served as the class valedictorian and as the graduation speaker. At Mervo, Joy was a member of the varsity cheerleading team, National Society of High School Scholars, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority GEMS program, Seeking Capacity Over Past Experiences Scope, Building Steps, and served as the school's morning announcer. Joy studied and worked in the cosmetology industry and is currently preparing for the state board exam. She enjoys public speaking and plans to pursue a degree in psychology at Alabama State University. Joy is a recipient of the Mr. and Mrs. Bobby Player Scholarship. Please join us in welcoming Joy Monet Eubanks. Jalen Lampkin. Jalen Lampkin is a graduating senior from Duke Ellington School of the Arts, where she has been studying and training in the dance department for 4 consistent years. Jalen is also a well-performing student when it comes to her academics. She is graduating with a 3.04 cumulative GPA. Jalen has been dancing for 12 plus years, and each year she has found her purpose and found many ways to share it with others. Jalen is also part of a dance organization by the name of Blackout Dance Center, where she is captain of the senior team. Jalen is also a junior coach, training first-time dancers ages 3 to 6 in the fundamentals of dance. Jalen is a recipient of the Mr. and Mrs. Bobby Player Scholarship. Please join us in welcoming Jalen Lampkin. Kendall Colby Mans. Kendall is a 2019 graduate of the Gilman Upper School for Boys in Baltimore, Maryland. He was a member of the Black Student Union, where he served as a mentor to other African American youths. He was a member of Gilman basketball, football, and track teams. Kendall was also a member of the School Homeless Club, which distributed lunches to homeless people in the Baltimore area. He was also a member of the Portrait Club, where he focused and wrote articles on race equality and situations he faced as a Black youth. He currently writes articles on race relations and publishes them on his social media platform. Kendall plans to major in journalism and communication and play football at ASU. Kendall is a recipient of the Rufus Daniels Memorial Scholarship. Please join us in welcoming Kendall Colby Mans. Donovan McFadden. Donovan is a 2020 graduate of Northwest High School in Germantown, Maryland, where he excelled in advanced placement and honors coursework and enrolled in a dual academic program in which he graduated with a 4.26 GPA, earning him an academic scholarship at Alabama State University. He is a skilled dancer, often performing at the famed John F. Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. Donovan is a member of Strathmore Young Men Chorus, where he sings first tenor. He is also a member of the Reed Temple AME Church Youth Usher Board and Northwest Drama Theater Dance Captain, Center Stage Academy for the Arts. His awards include Omega Psi Phi Mu New Chapters Academic Achievement Award and Alpha Phi Alpha WEB Du Bois Award. Donovan is also CEO, owner of Stitched in Germantown, Maryland, where he creates and customizes embroidery designs for men and women apparel. Donovan is a recipient of the Mr. and Mrs. Bobby Player Scholarship. Please join us in welcoming Donovan McFadden. Jonna Blackman. Jonna attended Duke Ellington School of the Arts, Washington, D.C., and is a graduate of Frederick Douglass High School, Upper Marlboro, Maryland. She has been dancing since the age of 5 and studied ballet, ethnic, and modern dance for 2 years at Duke Ellington School of the Arts before transferring to Frederick Douglass High School, where she went on to become a member of the dance team. She graduated in the top 10% of her class with a cumulative GPA of 3.7. She was recruited by Xavier University, North Carolina A&T, Clark Atlanta University, Bennett College, John C. Smith University, Benedict College, and Alabama State University. Jonna proudly accepted admittance to Alabama State University, where she will be studying psychology in the fall of 2020. Jonna is a recipient of the Brian and Dr. Virginia Howard Scholarship. Please join us in welcoming Jonna Blackman. Amaya Lawrence. Amaya is a 2020 graduate of the Suitland High School Center for Visual and Performance Arts program, where she majored in dance and graduated with a cumulative GPA of 3.3. She also trained in the First Dance Studio in Suitland, Maryland, and at Oxendine Music Academy in College Park, Maryland. Amaya participated in the Thai Witch Connect Fester for 2 years in Camden, New Jersey, the National High School Dance Festival in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and the IADB in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where she earned several awards and scholarships. Her dance styles include hip-hop, improvisation, and contemporary. Amaya plans to major in biology and dance and eventually become a physical therapist, along with teaching and mentoring future dancers. Amaya is a recipient of the Brian and Dr. Virginia Howard Scholarship. Please join us in welcoming Amaya Lawrence. Asia Warwick. Asia graduated from Suitland High School Center for Visual and Performing Arts, where she studied dance. She began dancing at Marcellus Dance Studio 13 years ago. She then attended Benjamin Floyd CPAA as a dance major from 2013 to 2015. She has been dancing with the Divine Dance Institute, DDI, since 2014, where she is still training. In 2018, she was selected to perform a reconstruction of Revelations by Alvin Ailey with Paula Brown. Asia Warwick was selected to perform with the PGCPS High School Honors Ensemble from 2018 to 2019 and the first annual Kennedy Center Dance Lab in 2019. She has been a proud member of the Repertory Dance Ensemble at Suitland High School for 3 years. Asia plans to continue her dance education at Alabama State University and join a dance company in the future. Asia is a recipient of the Brian and Dr. Virginia Howard Scholarship. Please join us in welcoming Asia Warwick. Marshall Renee Washington. Marshall graduated from Suitland High School Center for Visual and Performing Arts, where she has achieved academically and as a dancer. She has received additional dance training in all genres of dance from Dance Maker Incorporated and modeling coaching from EOE Modeling Incorporated, improving her technique and flexibility at Thomas G. Pullen. She has performed in several dance recitals, workshops, talent competitions, and modeling for over 7 years, garnishing a record number of first or second place awards, which speaks volumes of Marshall's talent and future. Marshall stated, "I can walk and model on any catwalk, as well as dance in 6 to 7 inch heels." As a dancer, she is skilled in tap, ballet, jazz, contemporary, and hip-hop. Marshall plans to major in dance at Alabama State University. Marshall is a recipient of the Brian and Dr. Virginia Howard Scholarship. Please join us in welcoming Marshall Renee Washington.
I hope everyone enjoyed today's program as much as I've enjoyed it, serving as your master of ceremony. I got teary-eyed when I saw the recipients and their pictures. Great job, team, by putting that together. This is the first virtual event that we've done. So congratulations to all the students again. As my final act, I would like to invite Howard Watkins and Shannon Cloman to give any final remarks.
We want to thank all the alumni again for all that they do in terms of giving and supporting the students from the DMV, those that are currently going, those are currently in school. And we want to make sure that the students understand that the support that they're receiving from the alumni, we're looking for them to come back and support other students. And sometimes don't always think in terms of money. Sometimes we just need your manpower, woman power. So we look forward to seeing you do great things. And I'll turn it over to Howard.
Thank you, President Cloman. To all the students, remember our motto is walking with a purpose. And that means that you're going to Alabama State University with a purpose is to get a degree. Some student gets in 4 years, some get less than 4 years, and some stay a little longer because perhaps maybe the class that was offered that they needed wasn't offered, or maybe they had to do an intern that was longer than just summer. So, but anyway, we want you to go walk with a purpose. We want you to stay connected with us. And not, as I mentioned, not just when you want something or need something, but just to let us know how things are going. And also reach back and thank these individuals who have given their resources and money for scholarship. So find a way to reach back and say thank you and let us know how things are going and stay in touch with us. The parents, I have reached out to the university and asked for a town hall meeting. A Zoom town hall meeting. So I get with the group here and working with a couple of the parents. So we'll come up with a date. Perhaps later this week, or maybe later this week, or I know we need to do it early because the 8th of August is getting close. So look out for an email from us. So we're going to organize a town hall meeting so that you can ask any question you want to ask relative to your sons and daughter going to Alabama State in terms of their safety on campus. So I've asked for a town hall meeting after today. And so they agreed to do a town hall meeting, and we'll organize it and we'll host it. We'll send and invite everybody, and it's an opportunity for anyone who have questions and concern about the safety of your son and daughter. Being a student at ASU is an opportunity to get that, is to get the answer from the university staff. The next thing is that, again, thanks to the parents, thanks to the students, and you are part of Hornet Nation, everybody. Every opportunity that you get, try to come to Alabama State and enjoy it. Don't just let your son and daughter go there and have all the fun. Parents, you want to be a part of it. Sometimes they probably don't want you there. I'm on campus a lot, and sometimes I see parents from DC area, they say, oh, we've been down here for 2 or 3 days. And I said, what you guys been doing? They take their sons, their daughters and son out, and they go out to eat. They go clean the dormitory rooms. I told them, I said, that's one of the things I taught in when we went to the pre-college program, that everybody need to keep the room clean, not wait till your parents come to Montgomery and come and clean your room. But anyway, parents gonna be parents. They're gonna come and make sure that everybody's fine. But I find that a lot of the parents, and once we'll be getting together parents very soon. So look out for some of the current parents to reach out and invite you for a Zoom meeting and a connection so we can bring our parents together. Because one student problem usually is all student problems. And this is the only alumni chapter that has a parent support group. And so you can be an advocate, not only for your sons and daughter in the DMV, but you can be an advocate for every young man and young women that goes to Alabama State. Because there are parents And a lot of time I appreciate they called me and they said, Mr. Watkins, I didn't go to college. I don't know nothing about college. I'm going to need your help to get through the application process, the financial aid process. And that's good. They ask. And so you don't get it, you don't ask. So, and then some parents are just intimidated because the fact that they're not used to talking to college staff. And so they need help. And that's when the parents together, when you get together, you know other parents, and you can help and advocate. Now, one of the things that I do not appreciate is selfish parents. You only worry about your daughter or your son. And then when it comes to other young men and women that goes to Alabama State or whatever, you don't reach out and try to get support. We try to support each other as a family. We're an Alabama State University family. You're welcome to the family. And so anything you can do, not only for your son and daughter, but for others, find out they have an issue. Or you go to visit the campus, reach out to some of the other students and make sure those kids are fine. So that's what really makes a family. Take a village to raise a child. And I know that most of everybody, young adults, they're going on and then they're going to develop themselves. And I'm not asking that you go down there and stay with them all the time because you don't want to let go of your son and daughter. And I know that happens to some parents, you know, and so, but anyway, I wish everyone well. We love you and thank you for everything that you guys have been done for coming to the meeting and making this program successful. And I hope that everybody got something out and that it will make your life successful. If you need us, always reach out and let us know.
Alabama State, oh mother dear, again we come to thee. Our pains and sorrows we forget whene'er thy face we see. Oh, oh, sweet and pleasant soul, in thee we hope, in thee we trust, for thee we pray and soul, for thee we pray and soul, pray and soul.
Brandon McKell, and I wanted to say that each one of you students have an opportunity here in front of you. We have almost 50 people in this Zoom meeting, and each one of them are here to support you. So that means when you're talking to one of us, you also have an entire network of support, because you're going 12 hours away, 3-hour flight. We're letting you know that each person in this room is a connection to your success, but everything still falls on you. So it is imperative that you take everything that you've learned here today and from the program and apply that to your life. I just want to thank all the parents, all the donors and alumni for coming through and speaking light into these children, because that positive reinforcement is what's going to keep us going. I know that Brother Watkins was a positive person for me and helped me push my career, and he continuously pushes me today. Without him, none of us would be here. I would not have this degree. I would not have this future. Now, we're going to pray with Brother Mark and Edward.
Thank you, Brandon. So everybody just join me, bow your heads and close your eyes. Dear Lord, we just want to thank you again for allowing us to fellowship with one another today. And as we bring this this scholarship ceremony to a close, we just want to thank you and pray for your blessing and protection that as we continue on with our days and our journeys, that we just we stay mindful, and we just keep an open mind to understand that we're not alone, and that we just have to press forward every day and give thanks every 24 hours that we have to make an opportunity to make a change in the world. We want to pray for these students that as they embark on the next chapter of their life, that they stay optimistic and stay confident in themselves, and that they understand that as they walk with you, they can accomplish all things in life. We want to thank all the speakers, the donors, family, alumni, and everyone who participated in the creation and also who just attended this event, that we thank them for their support, and we just pray that everyone continues on and has blessed journeys. It is in your mighty and matchless name that we say amen, amen, and amen.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Make us proud.